NASA says we could face mega droughts during the second half of the century, possibly lasting for decades. Scientists say they came to this conclusion based on current rates of rising emissions of carbon dioxide. They looked at 17 simulations, all different computer models, but they all showed similar outcomes. Chloe Beardsley spoke to local climate researchers today to get their take on these findings. Chloe?
Well, Kristen, I talked with Kelly Redmond, who is our resident drought expert studying climate for more than 3 decades. He says there's a variety of factors that got us here.
Drought has kind of two components. Of course, it's the lack of precipitation. But another main element of drought is the temperature.
Redmond says another factor is the rise in ocean temperature, which has been above average in the western Pacific.
In the driest part of the United States is affected by the wettest part of the globe, which is the oceans.
NASA researchers wrote in the journal Science Advances that continued increases in human-produced greenhouse gas emissions are driving up the risk of getting into a more severe drought situation throughout the region. Here's a video of the projected mega droughts. The study went through drought records from the past 1,000 years, the first to compare that far back, and shows it could get worse in the future.
What they were estimating, using a variety of statistical techniques, is that for the last half of the 20th century, last 50 years, the odds of a drought that lasts a decade or longer were about 12% in the Southwest. They're saying by the end of the current century, 2050 to 2100, that the odds of a decade-long drought would be about 80%.
Drought has a lot of impacts, a lot of it obviously with farming and agricultural ranching. They rely a lot on the water.
NASA scientists also predict the Southwest will see much less rain, which will increase evaporation and dry out the soil.
We're running pretty high. We're still putting a lot of emissions into the atmosphere. This is different from some of the previous droughts that we've had in the Sierra Nevada.
And experts I talked with say the next step in dealing with this drought is more research into the past to better understand what weather conditions we could continue to see in the future. Covering the story live, Chloe Beardsley, Channel 2 News.